What's up, everybody? Welcome to Trips Off. So I'm doing the review for the October 20th, I believe. Nope, 21st NHL games. So buckle up, it's a long one. There's 15 games in the NHL last night. So we're going to start off with Boston and LA. So first period, David Pastrnak starts off the scoring for the Bruins at 13-10 from Marchand and Van Riemsdyk on the power play. Second period, Alex Lafreniere would score for the Kings at 6:28 from Pierre-Luc Dubois and Kevin Fiala. Morgan Geekie would score for the Bruins at 14:45 from Lucic and Forbort. And then Marchand would score at 15:33 from Pastrnak and Forbort again. Third period, Marchand would score his second of the game from Pastrnak and Pavel Zacha at 17:48, and then Carl Gunstrom would end off the scoring for the Kings at 18:50 from Matt Waugh and Trevor Lewis on the power play. Boston takes that one 4-2. Rangers and Kraken. So got the Rangers jersey on here, Lady Liberty. So first period, Seattle scores their first and only goal. Justin Schultz from Dumoulin and Eli Tolvanen at 8:41. Panarin would answer from Philip Gill at 12:15 of the first. Second period, Capo Caco scores from Trouba and Kendra Miller at 13:02. And then Lafreniere would score from Philip Gill at 17:59. Third period, Panarin scores the second of the game from Gill and Miller at 5:30. Rangers take that one 4-1. Jets and Oilers. So first period, Edmonton scores down on theirs from McDavid and Draisaitl at 1:25. Then Bouchard scores from Draisaitl and McDavid on the power play at 6:11. And that would be it for the Oilers. Josh Morrissey responds at 10:18 of the first from DeMello and Barron on the power play. And then they would tie it up at 18:21. Nemestikov from Iafallo shorthanded. Third period was all nothing. Overtime, Mark Scheifele scores the OT winner from Morrissey and Connor at 3:53. Edmonton takes it 3-2. And it looks like McDavid's going to be out for at least 2 weeks with an injury. So Edmonton not having a good time. Okay, Colorado and Carolina. So two favorites for the cup, I guess. First period, Carolina scores at 16:09. Jesperi Kotkaniemi from Stefan Noesen and Jack Drury. Ryan Johansson was respond for the Avs at 19:54 from McKinnon and Lehkonen on the power play. So it's 1-1 going into the second. Avalanche would take the lead. Logan O'Connor from Cogliano shorthanded at 1:57. Carolina would respond right after. Brent Burns at 19:17 from Orlov and Noesen on the power play. And then they would take the lead. Bunting scoring from Natchez and Slavin at 10:42. Frederick Olsen would tie it up for the Avs at 12:21 from Logan O'Connor and Bowen Byram. And then Lehkonen would give them the lead from Johansson and McCarr on the power play at 14:10. McKinnon would score after that from Lehkonen and Nichushkin at 15:57. And Mikko Rantanen would score to make it 6-3 from Kelmakar and Lehkonen on the power play at 19:39.5. And the third period, Jacob Slavin would score from Kotkaniemi and Jarvis at 12:26. The Avs take that one 6-4. Penguins and Blues. So first period, Brendan Saad scores to open up the scoring for the Blues from Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou at 9:33. Evgeny Malkin would score from Chris Letang at 19:55 of the first to tie it up 1-1. Jake Neighbours would give the Blues the lead again. Kasperi Kapanen and Justin Falk with the assists at 5:39. And then Colton Parenko from Trepchenko and Sundqvist at 7:12 would put the Blues up 3-1. Brendan Saad scored second of the game in the third at 15:13 to put the Blues up 4-1 from Kapanen and Thomas. And then Radim Zahora would score 16:27 from Eller and Drew O'Connor to put the Penguins within 2, but that would be all she wrote. Blues take that one 4-2. Blue Jackets and Wild. So First period, Justin Danforth scores for the Blue Jackets at 8:55. David Jerkic, I don't know how to say that name. Correct me if you know. And Matthew Oliver scores to make it 1-0 Blue Jackets. Second period, Ken Johnson extends the lead from Cole Sillinger at 6:10. And then the Wild would answer back at 7:21. Dakota Mermis from Johansson and Eriksson Ek would make it 2-1. And then Zuccarello would tie it from Hartman at 8:15 of the second. Third period, Jonas Brodin would give the Wild the lead from Eriksson Ek and Maroon at 4:42. Jackets would tie it up Boone Jenner from Wierenski and Severson at 7:36. And then Adam Fantilli would get his first in the NHL to give the Blue Jackets the lead at 14:41 from Provorov, Severson on the power play. Johansson would score for the Wild to tie it up at 17:01 from Pat Maroon and Dakota Mermis. And then in overtime, Jack Roslovic would score from Gaudreau at 3:07 to win it for the Blue Jackets. They did that one 5-4. Alright, San Jose, Nashville. Okay, so first period, Sam Vigimo scores from Gustav Nyquist and Alexander Courier on the power play at 17:50 to make it 1-0 Nashville. Tommy Novak would score in the second at 2:06 from Kiefer Sherwood and Roman Josi to make it 2-0. Sherwood would score at 2:18 to make it 3-0 from Evangelista and Berry. Third period, Tommy Novak from Nyquist and Persinen on the power play at 2:49 would make it 4-0. Thomas Hurdle would finally answer for the Sharks at 10:34 from Ferrero and Knizov to make it 4-1, and then Luke Evangelista would end it at 13:26 from Faber to make it 5-1. Nashville wins that one. Obviously 5-1. Right. The Stars versus the Flyers. So, first period, Wyatt Johnson for the Stars scores from Jimmy Benn at 4:02 to make 1-0. Tyler Seguin would have another one for the Stars at 7:52 from Suter and Heiskanen. Then at 10:12, Yoel Fabre from Bobby Brink and Noah Cates would make it 2-1, and then Travis Konechny would tie it up from Noah Cates shorthanded at 16:36, and we're all tied at 2 going to the second. 30 seconds into the second, Rupe Hintz would score for the Stars from Robertson and Pavelski to make it 3-2, and that would be all for the second. Third period, Jamie Benn makes it 4-2 from Wyatt Johnson at 10:36. Konechny would score from Travis Sanheim and Scott Lawton shorthanded. And then Sean Walker would tie it up at 12:45 from Igor Zamula shorthanded as well. And then in overtime, Joe Pavelski from Wyatt Johnson would score 2:13 to win it for Dallas. They won that one 5-4. Right. Capitals and Canadiens. Alright. First period, Sean Monahan scores from Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield on the power play at 18:55 of the first. Second period, Gallagher would have another one for the Habs from Monahan and Pearson, former Canuck, from 9:50. Or at 9:50 rather, the second. Third period, Dylan Strome scores for the Caps from Alex Ovechkin and Matthew Phillips at 11:25. And then Strome would add his second at 17:59 from Kuznetsov and Carlson. So that's tied 2. Cole Caulfield would score in overtime at 47 seconds from Nick Suzuki and Mike Matheson to win it for the Habs. That's 3-2 Canadians for that one. Maple Leafs and Lightning. So first up, Nylander scores from Matthew Knies and John Tavares at 4:16 of the first. Kucherov would then score to tie it up at 6:26 from Braden Point and Victor Hedman on the power play. Alex Brulé would score at 10:04 from Kucherov and Point to make it 2-1 Lightning, and then Kucherov would score another one at 13:29 from Sergachev and Stamkos on the power play to make it 3-1 Lightning. Second period had no scoring, and then the Leafs would storm back. Matthew Knies from Max Domi at 12:11, and they scored a second of the season at 14:33 from Max Domi and David Kampf to tie at 3. And then in overtime, John Tavares would score at 4:05 from Nylander and Klingberg to win it for the Leafs 4-3. Okay. Isles and Sabres. So first period, no scoring. Second period, Skinner scores for the Sabres from Casey Millsat at 16:37 to open scoring. Matthias Samson would add another one for the Sabres at 19:23 from Middlestad and Jeff Skinner. Second period, or third period rather, sorry. At 2:40, Dylan Cousins would score from Dahlin and Greenway. And then the Isles would score no Dobson from Barzal and Horvat, former Canuck, at 18:39. So Sabres take that 1-3-1. Right. Anaheim and Arizona. First period, Arizona would score Jason Zucker from Valimaki and Michelli. Sure, on the power play at 17:41. Then second period, Clayton Keller would score at 14:01 from Nick Schmaltz and Sean Jersey. Then third period, Frank Vetrano would score for the Ducks from Silverberg and Henrik on the power play at 7:47. Excuse me, and the Coyotes take that 1-2-1. Red Wings and Senators. So first period, the Senators score. Start off the scoring. Jake Sanderson from Kachuk and Norris on the power play at 16:54. The Red Wings answer right back. Shane Goss to spare at 18:15. Dylan Larkin and David Prom with the assists on the power play. Red Wings score again in the second period at 4:18. Joe Valenzo from Christian Fisher. And then at 14:54, David Prom would score from Larkin and Sider on the power play. That makes it 2-1 Red Wings. 3-1. Third period, at 20 seconds in, Dylan Larkin would score from Gus Despair and Sider on the power play to make it 4-1. And then Joe Valenzo would score again from Daniel Sprong at 7:23 to make it 5-1. And then Riley Gregg would score for the Senators from Matthew Joseph and Jacob Chikrin at 8:49 to make it 5-2. And that's how the score would stand. Detroit takes that one 5-2. Alright, Vegas and Chicago. Vegas making NHL history by going 6-0. First defending cup captains to 6-0 in the history of the NHL. And here's how it went down. First period, Cam Bedard gets his first goal at the United Center at 1:30 from Taylor Hall on the power play. Beautiful shot. Carlson would answer on the power play at 4:05 from Paul Cotter and Kaden Korzak to make it 1-1. Marchessault would give the Knights the lead in the second period at 7:30 from Eichel and Theodore. And then Reese Johnson would tie it up at 8:50 from Connor Murphy and Ryan Donato. Right, third period, Nick Waugh scores at 13 seconds from Keegan Colasar and Braden McNabb. Then Stone would score at 13:47 from Mario and Stevenson. And then Paul Cotter at 16:09 from Amadio and Martinez on the power play would make it 5-2 for the Vegas Golden Knights. And then Corey Perry would score one for the Blackhawks at 19:45 from Foligno and Gorchinski, excuse me. And the Knights take that one 5-3. And then Vancouver versus Florida in Florida. So first period, Quinn Hughes scores on the power play at 11:09 from JT Miller and Elias Pettersson. 20 seconds later, Florida would answer right back. Alexander Barkov scoring unassisted at 11:29. Second period, Carson Soucy would give the Canucks the lead from Connor Garland on the power play at 10:41. And then Elias Pettersson would score at 11:15 from Andrei Kuzmenko and Ilya Mikheyev. So it's 3-1 going into the third. The Panthers would eventually tie it up. Sam Reinhart scoring 2. First one is 6:10 from Evan Rodriguez and Alexander Barkov. Second at 14:01 from Rodriguez and Mahura. Kuzmenko would eventually give the Canucks the lead back at 15:03. About a minute later, from Phil Giuseppe and JT Miller. Beautiful shot pass from Sperling Borowski. And then Besser would add another one unassisted at 17:50 into the empty net. Vancouver takes that one 5-3 and improves to 3-2 on season, heading to Nashville next game. I'm just giving you added Canucks content because I'm a Canucks fan. Anyways, yeah, that's the long video for today. I think we only have 2 games on the docket tonight, and I'll do a review of that tomorrow morning. Anyways, yeah, that's gonna be it for me for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Smash that like button if you feel like it. Subscribe if you feel like it. And I'll see you guys next time. Adios.